Alright, so welcome to the voiceover for the training vlog. Here you can just observe me doing some deadlifts. I look like I've been to Sunseekers on the high street and gotten a spray tan because of the colour grading that is apparent in this video. I will say that I had no say in this colour grading, so don't blame me for this. I'm probably not more tan than you. So I just worked up to a set of 4 here at 80 kilos, at around an 8.5 on the RPE scale. So that was that. Moving on to some bench press. I don't know what kind of crack I was on during this workout, to be honest, because I managed to do those deadlifts, which was more than I've done in a while, and this bench press set of 8, which was more weight than I've done for 8 reps in, I think, ever, potentially a really long while or ever, which was great for me, considering I don't think I've put that much up in a really long time. Basically, I've changed my grip, so I'm now using a wider grip, and I'm trying to push it back and up, rather than up and back. Moving on to the next day here, it was quite hot on this day, and I did some RDLs. So for these, I'm just trying to focus on making sure the bar doesn't leave my legs or lose contact with my legs on the way down or the way up. You can see me struggling a bit with these. It was quite hot this week, and I don't mean to sound like a wimp, but when it gets hot, I'm very British and I can't handle it in the gym, particularly if there's no air conditioning. So it does affect me quite a lot, probably more than it should. Here's another day when it was stupidly hot, so I took my shirt off because Instagrams. Got to get those views, got to do what I can to get those views. Here's me failing to get into a good front rack and then trying to get into one again, because my shoulders are bony, and sometimes if I don't get the bar in the right place, it really hurts. So on these, I'm basically just focusing on trying to not let my chest drop out of the bottom, because that does seem to be the sticking point for me. My lower back is fine, but my upper back just does not hold that position very well when it starts to get heavy. So you can see my elbows drop and my chest comes down a little bit out of the bottom. Trying to work on reducing that. Next up, I've got some tricep extensions here, very exciting, featuring some random men in the background. So here's me doing an angry face whilst looking at the cable machine to do a bit of extra tricep work, because I do find that when I focus more on the tricep work, not only do my arms get bigger, which is cool, but it does help my bench press and being stable on the bench press on the push. So even though that doesn't really make any sense because these are 2 very, very different exercises, I do find it has some kind of non-zero translation to the bench press or bench press performance. So I've been doing a few more tricep exercises. Here's me doing some chest press featuring the builders in the background who have invented a new way of doing rows on the lat pull down machine. Not sure what they're doing. Maybe I'll do that in my next session. Watch this space. So I'm just doing some chest press here. I think it's called a diverging chest press. Anyway, it's quite a good machine, and I really do like the sensation that I get in the bottom position. So I get quite a good stretch on my pecs, and I can get into a position that's quite similar to my bench press where I can set my back quite well, get quite a good arch and hold that position, and the machine does staple me to the pad quite well. So here's some deadlifting round 2. This is onto a different week here. You can see this session I did the same weight, but I stopped at 3 reps on this top set because I just was not feeling it at all. It was hot and I was dying. Oh, he's having a look. It's funny, I didn't even notice these guys were watching until I watched this footage back, and then I noticed it and I thought it was quite funny. So yeah, I just ended up doing a top set of 3 because I was dying, not having it. Here's me doing some more tricep work, this time with the rope attachment, very exciting for you. My trap looks absolutely enormous in this position. I'm pretty sure they're not that big in real life, or maybe I just haven't noticed. Either way, I'm not super mad about it. Just extra tricep work really, focusing on not trying to swing the rope around too much or yank it. Here's some overexposed bench pressing that I'm not going to fix the white balance on because it's funny just to be white. So it's a set of 4, and I'm really just focusing here on trying to get used to this wide grip that I'm using, which is where I've got my pinky basically on the rings of this bar, which is a bit wider than I usually use. trying to focus on pushing it back and up off the chest rather than up and back. Moving on to some neutral grip pull downs. So I do find the neutral grip, for myself and a few of the other people I've coached, I do find I get a bit of a better lat engagement or lat connection when I use this grip versus an overhand grip. Maybe it's just me, but I've heard other people say similar things and they seem to find it's helpful too. So I'm doing neutral grip for quite a few things at the moment on my accessories, and this is just one of the attachments that we have at this gym for this. So I'm trying not to swing around too much for this, but I'm still trying to go reasonably heavy. Next up, I've got some pistol squats that I've been doing because I saw Bryce Lewis was doing these on his channel and I was like, well, if he can do it, I'm definitely going to try and have a go at this. No offense, Bryce. So I reckon if I can get these down in less than 4 weeks, which is how long it took him, then I'm basically a better athlete than Bryce Lewis. So that's what I'm aiming for. I've had a couple of shots of these so far and they're not too bad. I'm considerably better now than I ever used to be at them, even though I've not really visited them in a while. Oh, I got stuck on that rep. Basically just working my way down the bands and seeing if I can get down to the green band or the placebo band as I call it, because it doesn't really provide very much resistance at all and it will be mostly there for comfort if I do use it. But for now I'm on the orange band, and this week I've had a crack with the yellow band and it was alright. So I reckon I could get a few, but I've got to work up to getting 8 in a row. And the last thing we have here is some chins. I did with a band as well because I absolutely suck at these because I very rarely do chins or pull-ups. Mostly do pull-downs just because I can't get a lot of volume with these, or not enough volume for it to be particularly useful to me. So I'm just doing these with a band, trying to hold it for a second at the top and focus on doing that isometric contraction at the top. And that's it. That's it for the montage of training footage from this past month, I would say. Those were just a few highlights, and hopefully I'll upload another one of these next week that will be a bit more up to date, and I'll see you guys in that one.